Hey guys, what's going on? Out here doing some pre-fishing for a tournament coming up. I'm out here at Pymatuning, right on the border of eastern Ohio and western PA. We have our annual Battle of the Border for kayak anglers coming up, and I just was able to get out here on a Saturday, Memorial Day weekend, and do a little pre-fishing. But you know what? Apparently, so did many other people. It is Memorial Day. It is a time where a lot of people like to get their boats out and get on the water. And it is very, very crowded out here, to say the least. So I was just kind of thinking about some of the common complaints of when a lake gets very crowded, especially in a kayak, and there's people out here recreationally boating, and a lot of fishing boats out here. But you know, there's not always a bad part with that, you know. So a couple things that, you know, I try to pay attention to, especially when there's boaters out here, and especially what I've noticed today is not many people are catching stuff. I was around probably like 10 boats out near a point. It's kind of annoying, but I did not see many people pulling any fish up on board. And sometimes that's a great indicator, you know, when you're out fishing, whether you're in a boat or whether you're in a kayak. I know sometimes it's frustrating, but there's some positives to pull away from it. That being, you get an idea of what people are doing, what they're catching, whether people are fishing closer towards shore, more shallow. Are people fishing off? I got a combination of both today. And to be honest with you, I don't see too many people catching much of anything. So so that kind of tells me one or two things. The other thing that I try to pay attention to when there's a lot of boaters, especially when I'm pre-fishing, people fish history, especially when they're maybe locals or come out to a lake like this. And so, you know, I notice there's some particular areas already that are super crowded compared to other areas that are kind of not touched. It tells me two things. Number one, that it's perhaps a good fishing area, but number two, it's probably a very common pressured area as far as fishing. And that's where I just came from. It seemed very pressured. It was a weed line coming off of a point, but going back into a cove. Yeah, you know, so sometimes that kind of gives you some good information about the lake that you might have a tournament coming up to, is seeing where these people are fishing, and how many boats are there. And like I said, that just happened. Another thing that I find personally, now today we got a little bit of a wind, maybe like 8 miles per hour. But, you know, if you have a really, really dead day with the wind and the water's it's real flat, it's like glass. I like that boat traffic. You know, I like the boat traffic that can stir it up a little bit, especially how I like to fish. I just came from a tournament where we had one of those days where it was just super, super flat water, and it made it very tough that day. So, you know, there's some positives with some of that boat traffic on some of those days. So, you know, then there's the most common thing is when people are out in the water, and that is just, you know, talking to other fishermen. Hey, how's it going? You guys have any luck? Yeah, you'll be surprised. Most anglers that are out there, you know, they enjoy that conversation both ways. So yeah, not always a bad thing when you have an overcrowded lake. So we'll get on with it. We'll see if we can catch some fish today. But just, you know, some thoughts to share with you. All right, guys. Let's see if some fish are biting yet, because I am not having luck today.